At the party, I accidentally drank something that was spiked. My body was on fire, an empty, aching heat spreading through me, so I went to find my fiancé. Instead, I found him kissing his childhood sweetheart. It was so intense a string of saliva connected their lips when they pulled apart. Oh, right. The fiancé's name is Ryan. We've been together 5 years. We're supposed to get married next month. When I asked him why, he just ignored me and went back to kissing her, even more passionately than before. Humiliated and in agony, I turned and walked away. And ran right into my arch nemesis. I threw myself into his arms. Stella, my rival said, don't think this means I've forgiven you. But his hands held my waist tight. A burning heat flared deep in my belly. Thirsty. My throat was bone dry, my voice a rasp. My whole body felt like it was on fire. I fought the feeling of emptiness inside, but it was so strong it brought tears to my eyes. I was desperate for some kind of release. I stared at the empty glass in front of me. My vision was blurry, and I struggled to focus as I scanned the familiar faces at the party. I had no idea. Who would use such a disgusting trick? I crushed the wine glass in my hand, shards of glass digging into my palm. The sharp pain was the only thing keeping me lucid. I stumbled out of the ballroom. Ryan. Where was Ryan? My steps were a mess. I dug my nails deeper into my palm. I had to find him. Right now, he was the only one who could help me. The moonlight flickered through the overcast sky, leaving the backyard in near silence. Then I heard a soft moan. Ryan, looking sharp in his suit, was leaning over, holding the woman in front of him. She was crying in his arms. Are you really going to marry her? Even after you're married, please don't leave me. I just want to be by your side. Ryan gently pushed her away. If you stay with me, everyone will trash you. I couldn't bear that. I don't care. She wrapped her arms around his waist, pressing her body against his. I'm not afraid. As long as I can be with you, I'm not afraid of anything. Please don't leave me, okay? Ryan didn't say anything. Do you really love her? His back was to me, but I saw him stiffen. Then he scoffed. No way. She's just hot, knows how to treat a guy, and my parents like her. Oh, Ryan, she whispered, then let me be the one to love you. The woman stood on her toes and kissed the corner of his mouth, revealing her face. It was Nina, Ryan's childhood friend. They whispered something to each other, and a sweet smile spread across Nina's face. Ryan leaned down and kissed her, and they wrapped their arms around each other tightly. Their tongues tangled for what felt like an eternity. When they finally pulled apart, a thin, silvery string of saliva connected their lips. The first time I saw her, I knew. She wasn't innocent. I could see the calculation and menace in her eyes. I just never thought Ryan would fall for her so easily. Even though I knew Ryan's feelings for me weren't that deep, hearing those hurtful words with my own ears still made my eyes burn. My heart ached. Why? I asked, my voice soft and trembling. Ryan glanced back at me, his brow furrowed with annoyance. Nina shot me a triumphant look. Another wave of heat from the drug washed over me, snapping me back to reality. Dealing with my own problem was more important right now. I didn't want to lose control when the drug really kicked in. Ryan was tainted now. The thought of him disgusted me. I steeled myself and turned to leave. The drug made my legs feel like jelly, and I almost collapsed. A strong hand caught my waist from behind and pulled me up. The intense, masculine scent of the man made me lose what little control I had left. My legs gave out, and I fell right into his arms. A faint scent of oud and sandalwood hit my senses, making my blood boil. I'd been fighting it for too long. The drug was too strong. It felt like every bone in my body was being chewed on. Julian gripped my wrist tightly. Throwing yourself at me? Don't think this means I'll forgive you. I recognized his scent. Instinctively, I grabbed his cool, slender fingers. A soft moan escaped my lips. Help. Help. Me. The words came out in broken gasps. I couldn't stand it. His hand on my skin felt the unusual heat. Julian panicked, his brow furrowed. Why are you so hot? Do you have a fever? I'm taking you to the hospital. His tone held a rare note of concern. He swept me into his arms, easily lifting me up. I wrapped my arms tightly around his neck, wishing I could press my entire body against his. I needed to breathe him in. I buried my face in his neck. It hurts so much. Please, help me. I can't take it anymore. My eyes fixed on his thin lips. They looked so red. I wanted to kiss them. I couldn't help but gulp, swallowing hard. I tightened my grip on his neck and pulled myself up, bringing my face close to his. My burning skin met his cool lips. Julian's hurried steps faltered. His other hand gripped my waist, pulling me closer. He made it easier for me to reach him. He whispered against my lips, "Stella, do you know who I am?" My eyes finally focused on his face. Exquisite and refined. He had those deep, soulful eyes that could make a stray dog feel loved. His strong nose hinted at his formidable character. I saw him clearly now. It was Julian. Julian. Stella, I'm giving you one last chance. If you start something with me, there's no easy way out. I moved closer to him. You talk way too much. Julian's cool eyes darkened, hiding something predatory within. He parted my lips and stirred the still waters into a storm. I vaguely heard the sound of a door opening. Then I was thrown onto a bed. The tempest hit. I was a ship lost at sea, tossed about by merciless waves. I was no longer in control. The sky was just beginning to lighten when I jolted awake. I felt like I was being squeezed by a python, unable to move. I shot upright. A strong hand was draped over my waist, veins popping, radiating power. I rubbed my sore back. Then I turned and saw the familiar face. Asleep, Julian's usual cold demeanor was gone. He looked almost cute. My heart skipped a beat. It really was Julian. My face fell. This was bad. I could only imagine how he was going to mock me. Whatever. At least he was clean. Julian, the prince of the city's elite, wasn't into women. Or men. He had 0 scandals to his name. Carefully, I lifted his hand off me. I grabbed my clothes, threw them on in a panic, and slipped out of the room. Click. The sound of the door closing woke Julian. His hand searched the empty space on the bed beside him. His eyes snapped open. The room was empty except for him and a floor littered with used condom wrappers. He sat up, a playful smirk on his lips. You really think you can get away? Finally back in my own apartment, I collapsed onto my bed and let out a long sigh. My phone rang. It was my best friend, Chloe. Stella, where'd you go? Ryan was looking for you all night. Hearing his name brought back memories of last night. I snorted. He was too busy being all sweet and inseparable with his childhood flame. Why would he be looking for me? A shriek came from the other end of the line. What? Childhood flame? That snake Nina? Her reaction was a little over the top. Later on, the two of them showed up at the party holding hands. How shameless. I always knew there was something weird between them. They were always so touchy-feely. She paused. Stella, are you still going through with the wedding next month? My gaze drifted to the window, where a golden dawn was breaking on the horizon. Nope. Scumbags and bitches belong together. Saves them from ruining other people's lives. I support you. After Chloe hung up, she felt like she'd forgotten something. She scratched her head. What was it? I lay in bed for a while, letting the soreness in my body fade. I grabbed a scented candle from my nightstand, picked a scent I liked, and lit it. The clean, elegant fragrance of lime and sea salt filled the room. The flame on the wick danced and crackled. An ember popped from the candle, scattering in a circle, like a tiny, brilliant flower. They say a popping candle brings good fortune. Looks like things are finally looking up for me. I felt sticky, so I took a shower. I had just put on my pajamas when the doorbell rang. I grabbed a robe and wrapped it around myself. Through the video doorbell, I saw Ryan standing outside, his eyes sharp and his face angry. I couldn't be bothered to deal with him. I pretended no one was home. I turned to go back to my bedroom to get some rest. Last night was exhausting. Julian was like a wild animal. Insatiable. He never stopped. By the end, I wasn't sure which one of us had been drugged. My phone rang. It was Ryan. Decline. He called again. Decline again. He called again. This time, I just blocked his number. Finally, my phone went silent. Peace and quiet. A moment later, I got a friend request. The profile picture was Nina. I took a deep breath and accepted. Almost immediately, a video came through. It was a recording of her and Ryan in bed. In the video, Nina was moaning, begging Ryan to go faster and faster. Ryan laughed and said, "Don't worry, I'll make sure my little Nina is fully satisfied." Nina clung to Ryan, the two of them completely shameless. The dirty talk was non-stop. Swallowing the bitterness in my heart, I saved the video. Lying in bed, I couldn't sleep. I grabbed a bottle from the liquor cabinet and started pouring glass after glass down my throat. No matter how tough I acted, it was still a 5-year relationship. You'd get attached to a dog in that amount of time. After drinking way too much, I passed out on the living room rug. In my dream, I saw Ryan for the first time again. He was a sophomore, and I was a freshman. During a basketball game, he was sinking shot after shot. The golden sunset washed over the court, illuminating his radiant figure. His sweat-soaked jersey hinted at the powerful body beneath. His movements were fluid and agile, capturing the attention of countless girls. He was so dazzling, I never thought I'd even get to talk to him. But the first time he saw me, he walked right up and said, "Hi Stella, I'm Ryan from the sophomore IT department. I really like you. Can you give me a chance to win you over?" I was ecstatic, but I kept a straight face. After that, we started texting all the time. We'd randomly run into each other on campus. Plenty of guys were pursuing me in college, but his light shone so much brighter than anyone else's. I fell for him, hard. After we got together, Ryan was incredibly attentive and caring. His friends all joked that he was totally whipped. He started his own business after graduation while I went to grad school. Back then, I really thought we would make it. I never imagined we'd be brought down by a third person. I lost, completely and utterly. But a deal's a deal, and I had to accept my loss. At 10 p.m., the buzzing of my phone woke me. The carpet was damp with my tears. I didn't check it right away. I got up and went to the bathroom to splash some water on my face. My reflection in the mirror was a mess, my eyes red and swollen. Faint red marks dotted my neck, souvenirs from last night. After pulling myself together, I finally checked my phone. Tons of messages from friends. They all said Ryan was looking for me, that he was going crazy with worry. He couldn't get in touch with me. I replied to them one by one, then composed a post for my social media. I announced that we had broken up amicably and that next month's wedding was cancelled. The moment I posted it, I got a like. I checked. It was Julian. Seeing his profile picture made me think of his wildness last night, and my face flushed. Chloe messaged, asking if I wanted to hang out. I didn't want to be alone, and figured getting out would be good for me. She sent me a location. The Summit Club. I was with a few close friends, and everyone was careful to avoid any uncomfortable topics. On my way back from the restroom, I saw Ryan. He was in the private room next to ours with a bunch of his buddies. From their conversation, it sounded like they were talking about me. "Yo, Ryan, so is the missus serious this time? She really breaking up with you?" A friend next to him shot him a look. "Dude, did you not see the group chat yesterday? It blew up." "What message?" "Julian took some woman to a hotel room last night." "Julian? Which Julian?" The guy jabbed a thumb toward the ceiling. "How many Julians are there? Holy shit. Isn't he famously untouchable?" His friend smirked. "Who knows? He's a man, right? Gotta let off steam sometime." And get this, the woman was supposedly wearing a champagne-colored slip dress. He glanced at Ryan. Same thing Stella was wearing. What? Stella? No wonder she dumped him today. Damn, Ryan, you guys are into some wild stuff, huh? An open relationship? Aren't you trying to get in on that new project with Julian's company? Just get Stella to put in a good word. A little pillow talk, you know? Ha ha ha. The whole group jeered and laughed. The thought of being cheated on instantly soured Ryan's mood. She wouldn't dare. Ha. What a hypocrite. She loves me too much. She'd never leave me. Besides, she has no other family but me. No matter how big of a fit she throws, she'll come crawling back. See? He knew everything. He knew I only had him, and he still threw me away. He does whatever disgusting things he wants and still expects his girlfriend to be completely devoted to him. To take care of him. In that instant, a sharp pain spread through my chest, like a knife twisting in my heart. I couldn't breathe. My body started to tremble uncontrollably. I had to crouch down to ease the pain. Suddenly, a hand gently stroked my back. A cool, clear voice sounded by my ear. Enjoying the eavesdropping? The faint scent of oud and sandalwood surrounded me. I spun around. Julian. He moved closer, his intense presence enveloping me. Hit it and quit it? What do you take me for, huh? From inside the room, a disgusting voice drifted out. Still, it's been 5 years, and she's gorgeous. If she really ran off with Julian, could you let her go? The air around Julian turned to ice. He kicked the door open. The room fell silent. Say that again. I dare you. His tone was full of menace. Saint Stella. My nails dug into my palm, reopening the wound from yesterday. I trembled from the pain. I'm not your girl. Ryan and I broke up. Ryan, who was sitting in the middle of the sofa, shot to his feet. Who said you could break up with me? He demanded. Julian stood behind me, his shadow falling over me. It gave me an incredible sense of courage. You probably don't want me to release that video of you two, do you? Ryan froze. What video? I scoffed. The one your little childhood sweetheart sent me yesterday. The video of you two in heat. I took out my phone and played the saved video. The sounds of panting and moaning filled the air. This is concrete proof that you cheated. Ryan's face turned a sickly shade of green. He stammered but couldn't get a word out. Julian picked up an unopened bottle of Louis XIII from the table. Since your mouths are so filthy, they need a good washing. Whoever finishes this bottle can leave today. Otherwise. His voice dripped with threat. Mr. Thorne, drinking this whole bottle will kill someone. Julian just laughed coldly. Either you die, or your parents die with you. After everything that happened, I wasn't in the mood to party anymore. I sent Chloe a quick text saying I was heading home. As I walked out of the club, a luxury car was parked brazenly at the entrance. I knew that car. It was Julian's. The license plate was 5 zeros. A symbol of power and status. When he saw me, he pushed himself off the car where he'd been leaning. White smoke blurred his face. He extended a long finger and beckoned to me. Come here. Might as well take a free ride. I tried to convince myself. Julian grabbed me, trapping me between his body and the car. Why did you run off? I looked down, unable to meet his eyes. Julian glanced at my guilty expression. He sneered. You're such a coward. You never take responsibility for your actions. What do you mean, never? It was one time. Julian's brow furrowed. One time? Are you sure? I mumbled. Okay, 1.5 times. That was years ago. You're still holding on to that? So petty. Julian actually laughed. I'm petty? Heh. You're the one who plays around. You kiss me, then turn around and get with Ryan. Thinking back to that time, I deflated. I did feel guilty. Mostly because at the time, I just felt like I'd been slobbered on by a dog. Only women hold grudges. Fine, fine. No grudges. When are we going public? Huh? Public with what? Julian poked my forehead, exasperated. You slept with me. Aren't you going to make an honest man out of me? I changed the subject, pulling open the car door. We'll talk about it later. In the days that followed, Ryan would occasionally call me. When he realized I'd blocked him, he started using other people's phones. He always asked the same things. Was I cheating on him? Had Julian and I been seeing each other behind his back all along? Men are masters of turning the tables. He was the one who did all the disgusting things, yet he wanted to drag an innocent person down with him. When your own heart is dirty, you see filth everywhere. Maybe he couldn't believe I had really let go of our relationship, or maybe it was his wounded pride. He started waiting outside my apartment for 2 days straight. Luckily, I was out of town on a business trip and missed him. Later, one of his friends found me and told me that Ryan and Nina were completely over. He also said Ryan was in bad shape and had been hospitalized for a bleeding stomach. I had no sympathy for any of them. I'm not a doctor, I said coldly. Telling me is useless. I knew what he was doing, trying to get me to feel sorry for Ryan, playing the sympathy card. He thought I'd soften, because our relationship had once been really good. But with cheating, it's either 0 times or 100 times. And he never truly loved me. He only loved himself. I'm not going to waste my life crying over a man who isn't worth it. I got home from work one evening and found Ryan waiting for me. He was leaning against a tree, staring at me with a lost, haunted look. He rushed forward and stopped in front of me. He raised his hand, then let it fall, looking helpless. It was so different from the Ryan I knew. I took a step back and crossed my arms. Everything that needed to be said has been said. We're over. Ryan's muscles tensed, and he trembled slightly. His voice was choked. I didn't agree to it. I'm not breaking up with you. We're getting married next month. I'll be good to you, I promise. You know I love you. I looked him straight in the eye and said, firmly, I don't love you anymore. No. No, that's not true. You love me, and I love you. How could you not love me? Ryan's thoughts were a jumble, my simple words hitting him like a physical blow. I cut off his rambling. I'm tired. I'm going inside. Let's not contact each other again. Ryan raised a hand to stop me. His phone, which had been buzzing with notifications, lit up again. He quickly tried to silence it. Aren't you going to get that? Your little childhood sweetheart is looking for you. And no, it's not. We're done. It's completely over. His phone started ringing. I held out my hand. Defeated, Ryan gave it to me. Nina's shrill voice came through the speaker. Can't she live without a man? Ryan, you're my boyfriend now. You can't go see her. I love you, I know you don't love her. We're the ones who are meant to be together. If she needs a man that badly, I can introduce her to someone. She's already been dirted by another guy. Ryan exploded with rage. Shut up. We were over a long time ago. I don't love you. My heart has always belonged to Stella. With a loud crack, Ryan smashed the phone on the ground. I just smirked, having no desire to deal with this pair of animals. The shattered phone on the pavement was a symbol of our relationship, broken beyond repair. Back in my apartment. A pair of strong arms wrapped around me from behind. A teasing voice whispered by my ear, "Having so much fun you forgot all about me, huh? Is he really that great? He cheats on you, and you still can't let him go?" I turned and wrapped my arms around his neck. He tightened his grip on my waist, the force of it betraying his inner turmoil. Julian's dark eyes burned with a fiery passion. The heat made my knees go weak. His magnetic voice, laced with the cool scent of the night, whispered in my ear, "Looks like you weren't tired enough last night, since you could stand out there for so long." The memory of last night's endless passion made my back ache. Scared? Who's scared? My lips trembled as I stood on my toes and pressed them against his. "Could you please try to be human?" Julian raised an eyebrow and didn't answer, letting his actions pull me under instead. The last thread of our reason snapped. Inside, the air was thick with desire. Outside, the stars glittered and the moon cast a hazy glow on the curtains, silhouetting two entangled figures for anyone watching from below. The food on the table was cold. By the time Julian had reheated it, I had finished getting ready. The aroma of the steak was intoxicating, making my stomach rumble. Watching his long, slender fingers expertly cut the steak made my heart flutter all over again. He placed the plate of perfectly cut steak in front of me. "Hurry up and eat." I wasn't used to this. "You've been getting more and more considerate lately. After all, we used to be enemies." If I reached for a dish, he'd spin the lazy Susan. If I wanted to eat a meal, he'd insist on porridge. If I was interested in a project, he'd try to steal it. The whole city knew we didn't get along. Just last week, he was mocking me for being stuck with a loser for the rest of my life. But now, here he was, smiling as he cut my steak. Pouring me tea. His gaze was intense, his eyes sparkling like stars. The next morning when I left for work, the ground outside my door was littered with cigarette butts. As luck would have it, I ran into Ryan's mother. She grabbed my hand warmly. "Stella, just yesterday Ryan and I were discussing the flowers for the wedding next month. Ryan said you like Medusa roses, so we were going to order a bunch for the wedding. I know you'll love them." I was speechless. "I'm sorry, but Ryan and I have broken up. The wedding is cancelled, so you don't need to worry about it." I gently removed her hand from my arm. I glanced at my phone. "I'm running late for work. We can talk next time. Goodbye, Mrs. Liu." She called my name a few times, but I pretended not to hear. I had just gotten to the office when a bouquet of roses arrived, my favorite, Medusas. My assistant brought them to me and handed me the card from inside. "Stella, I sincerely regret my past mistakes. I hope you can give me another chance. I will cherish you. Love, Ryan." I tossed the card and the flowers to my assistant. "You can deal with this." My assistant hesitated. "Aren't these really expensive? If you like them, take them." "Thank you." She happily carried the flowers out of my office. A busy day helped me forget the morning's little drama. A reminder popped up on my phone. Today is March 19th. Ryan's birthday. I stared out the window, lost in thought. A heavy rain had begun to fall. A knock on the door pulled me back from my memories. When I opened it, a soaking wet, disheveled Ryan was standing there. He looked at me with lost eyes, raindrops trickling down his face, looking pathetic and wronged. "Did you forget it's my birthday today?" His eyes were red. "Stella, you promised you'd be with me for every birthday." I was exhausted from dealing with him. "Happy birthday. Is that it?" "I'm sorry, Stella. Are you still not going to forgive me?" He suddenly grabbed my hand and slapped himself hard across the face with it. I frowned and tried to pull my hand back. He held on tight and tried to hit himself again. Gritting my teeth, I yanked my hand free. If you're going to have a meltdown, go find your little childhood sweetheart. Don't do it here, I said coldly. Ryan's skin was fair, and the red handprint on his cheek was glaring. He opened and closed his mouth silently, rainwater dripping onto the doormat. Stella, he said bitterly, I really know I was wrong. I was just confused for a moment. I don't love her. It wasn't until you left that I realized I can't live without you. All I can think about is you. I miss you so much. Forget it. I sighed, letting out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. A wave of weariness washed over me. Tears fell from Ryan's eyes as he apologized over and over, begging for my forgiveness, pleading for another chance. The sincere, innocent basketball player was gone forever. Ryan. Nina was standing in the downpour, her voice choked with tears as she called his name. Ryan didn't turn around. Suddenly, she fell to her knees, crying and begging me. Stella, Ryan is all I have. Please don't fight me for him, I'm begging you. Ryan gripped my hand tightly, afraid I would turn and walk away for good. Let go of me. I ripped my hand out of his grasp. I had no interest in watching this soap opera unfold, so I just slammed the door in their faces. Over that hill, the 20-year-old version of Ryan was waiting for me, smiling. Stella, why do you look so worn out? At 20, he was still so dazzling. Is the 25-year-old Ryan good to you? I shook my head. The 20-year-old boy smiled, his eyes crinkling. Don't forgive him, Stella. You deserve better. Even I'm not worthy of you anymore. He smiled as he drifted further and further away. Ryan, I whispered, jolting awake from the dream, a tear rolling down my cheek. The 20-year-old Ryan was never coming back. Julian noticed I was in a bad mood and decided to take me on a trip to cheer me up. After handing off all my work, Julian and I boarded a flight to Switzerland. We arrived in Zermatt. The town lived up to its name as the Glacier City. The snow was perfect, the scenery was stunning, and the air was crisp and clean. The snow-covered mountains on either side, with a stream flowing between them, felt like they could wash away all my worries. That week in Switzerland was a soul-shaking experience. The culture was so different. My relationship with Julian deepened. He proposed to me on a night when the northern lights appeared. He walked toward me out of the moonlight, his features shadowed and indistinct, but with a sexy, mysterious air. The proud man knelt before me. Stella, from the moment I met you, my life became intertwined with yours. I will give you all my love. You don't have to worry or be afraid. You just have to feel my love. Give me a chance to take care of you. Julian looked up at me, his eyes shining with hope and desire. He was like a believer waiting for his God to show mercy. I love you. Will you marry me? For a long moment, I didn't speak. I couldn't deny that I was scared. When it came to love, I felt like a victim who had just escaped from a thorn bush. My wounds hadn't even healed yet. But now, looking at his eager eyes, I couldn't remain indifferent. My heart was pounding. My body was yearning for him. I held out my hand. I will. Julian shot to his feet, almost forgetting he hadn't put the ring on yet. He fumbled anxiously as he slipped the ring onto my finger. Then he pulled me into a tight hug. I don't know how long we stood there before I patted his shoulder. It was a long time before he finally let me go. Under the aurora, we kissed. Legend says that when lovers see the northern lights together, their love is blessed by the gods. They will walk through life, hand in hand, forever. The next year flew by in a blur. One day, I found a diary in Julian's room. A day in the life of Stella. I was incredibly curious. While he was out, I secretly opened it. August 9th, 20 Stella got drunk today. A friend saw her at a bar and secretly told me. Bars are chaotic, I was worried, so I went to check on her. As soon as I arrived, I saw her in a sexy black slip dress. Some drunk guy was hitting on her. I rushed over and scared him away. But then she mistook me for a male model and started touching me. She wasn't herself at all. It was driving me crazy. I'm definitely going to teach her a lesson today. September 10th, 20 heard from a friend that Stella is going on blind dates. I'm both shocked and angry. She just turned 18. I secretly found out who her date was and scared him off. Happy. September 18th, 20 crap, Stella found out I ruined her blind date. She got into a huge fight with me. I'm sad. September 30th, 20 saw her at a friend's party. She looked so beautiful today. White dress, so pure. I love it. October 18th, 20 she got drunk. Why does she love to drink so much? Such a lightweight. I secretly took her home. The moment we got out of the car, she pushed me against it. And kissed me. My heart was pounding so hard. I thought it was going to jump out of my throat. I asked her, "Do you know who I am?" You're a stupid dog. Even though she was so drunk her eyes were unfocused, at least she recognized me. October 19th, 20 I am so pissed. Stella is denying it. I'm never going to like her again. October 20th, 20 still like her today. November 15th, 20 she has a boyfriend. Some scumbag. I hate her. And so on. It was filled with entries like this. I heard footsteps outside the door. I quickly closed the diary. And shoved it back in the drawer. Julian came in and saw my guilty face. He raised an eyebrow with a smirk. What kind of trouble did you get into? I panicked and tripped over my own feet, falling toward the bed. Julian caught me in one smooth motion. Throwing yourself at me again? He glanced outside. It's still light out. Couldn't wait? I flushed with embarrassment and threw a pillow at him. He didn't get mad. He just scooped me up and placed me gently on the bed. His face was close to mine, our noses almost touching. Our breaths mingled with the faint scent of sandalwood that clung to him. His deep eyes reflected a tiny version of me. I wrapped my arms around his neck and kissed him. The temperature in the room began to rise. Feeling bold today, huh? I called his name softly. Julian. Julian. He kissed the corner of my mouth. What's gotten into you today, my little clingy vine? I like you so much. Last night you said you hated me. It's because you were so rough. Jerk. You can talk tough, but your body is always honest. I was practically drowning in you. I covered his mouth to stop his shameless talk. My ears were bright red. I grumbled to myself that his skin was thicker than a castle wall. After we were done teasing each other, Julian whispered in my ear, "I love you, Stella." I love you, Julian. Ryan's story. After 3 years with Stella, I started to get bored with our peaceful life. We went to work together, came home together. Went on dates on the weekends. Even in bed, it was always the same few positions. I could see our entire future laid out before me. Then one day, while I was waiting for Stella after work, I saw Nina. She had grown up. She was no longer the insecure, shy girl from our school days. She had become sexy. I was leaning against my car, and she noticed me. She swayed her hips as she walked over. In that moment, the strong scent of roses hit me. My calm heart suddenly skipped a beat. She held out her hand and called me brother. Her voice was so sweet. Our hands clasped tightly. Her fingertip traced a line on my palm. I struggled to control my racing heart. I have Stella. I love her very much. The company was celebrating a successful project. At a bar. I saw her. The alcohol was working its magic, my blood was hot. We kissed in a small alley. Her lips were so soft. I pressed harder, wanting to explore. The novelty of her made me grow colder towards Stella. I started to find our relationship bland. I hesitated countless times, wanting to break up with Stella. But every time I saw how much she loved me, the words would die on my lips. That night, Stella discovered our secret. I felt conflicted, but also a strange sense of exhilaration. Doing it in front of her felt more exciting. My blood flowed faster. I always thought I had no feelings left for her. But that day, when I saw Julian standing behind her, protecting her, like she was someone else's treasure. In that single moment, a wave of terror washed over me. I had lost her. But I didn't want to lose her. I kept looking for her, begging her to forgive me. Telling her how much I loved her. She was so cruel. All I did was make a mistake that all men make. I already knew I was wrong. Why couldn't she, for the sake of our past happiness, give me one more chance? A prodigal son's return is more valuable than gold. She didn't care about me. She just left. A little while later, I saw the light in her apartment turn on. The curtains showed the silhouette of two entangled bodies. My heart shattered into a million pieces. How could she? How could she be with another man? I stood downstairs below her window for a long, long time. So long I thought my life had passed me by. Pain consumed me. I went to a bar to get drunk. Nina showed up. I rejected her. I insulted her. Why did she have to come and ruin my happy life? She knelt down in front of me. I couldn't take it. My body felt like it had been reawakened. This was a feeling Stella could never give me. I thought, just let me indulge one last time. After this, I'll definitely apologize and beg for her forgiveness. I don't care that she was with Julian. She will forgive me too. Nina used our videos to threaten me. She said if I didn't get back with her, she'd post all the videos online. Make me famous. Let the whole world know who I was. I hated her for ruining everything. I never wanted to see her again. But one time, we got into an argument in the car. She tried to grab the steering wheel. The car was going fast and crashed into the guardrail. In the crash, my legs were trapped. The blood flow was cut off for too long. My lower body had to be amputated. And Nina, because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, was thrown from the car. A steel rebar from a nearby construction site pierced her heart. She died on the spot. I guess this was our karma. A sweet epilogue. One day, I was scrolling through TikTok. I saw a video about how marriage offers so little protection for women these days. I decided to have a serious discussion with Julian about it. Before the gods and spirits, who are not easily deceived, Julian, swear to the heavens that I will never betray you. If I break this vow. Swearing an oath doesn't seem very useful. Julian pulled a stack of documents from a drawer. He placed them in front of me. If I do anything to wrong you, I will leave with nothing. You can take all my money and go live your life, be happy, be romantic, be free. I looked at the documents, at the endless zeros listed under his personal assets. I reluctantly signed my name. The world is bustling and time flies by, but nothing is more precious than a willing heart. I'm leaving the past behind me. In the years to come, I'll still be here to greet the blooming flowers.